What's up, my brothers from another mother? Another community only video. This is one of the premium pieces of content that only goes in the community for you gentlemen. Stay till the end, I'll explain what this harness is. Title of this one is Fuck You, Pay Me. And this is a good one. This is one that I could never publish publicly on YouTube because the YouTubers would probably throw me off the platform. Just adding this to the pile of stuff they'd find reasons to get rid of me on. Wicked ZR1 Corvette. Wow. All right. About 2 years before the movie Goodfellas came out, it was 1990, I believe Goodfellas came out. And I remember it was 88 because my friend's dad just got this brand new Porsche 928, beautiful black on black, gorgeous car. If you're a younger gentleman, you're not going to remember this one, but you can look it up. It was one with a nice egg back and it had these pop-up headlights. He was this kind of like old school Italian mafiosa guy. And we were just kind of in the backyard shooting the shit, and this was just around when those brick cell phones had like just come out, I think. They were these really big giant cell phones. They had no other functions, there's no smartphone apps or anything like that. It was just basically a phone. And it rings, he answers it, and the conversation starts to get a little more heated. And he says to the guy who was obviously making excuses to him, he ran the circuit board plant and had a few other things going on as well. And he said to him, "Don't make your problems my problems, pal." Right? And then it got a little more heated over time, and then he said, "Fuck you, pay me." Now, 2 years later, Goodfellas, Ray Liotta said that famous line. If you haven't seen that movie, gents, it's definitely worthwhile watching. If you've seen it before, it's worthwhile watching again. It's kind of one of those movies you watch more than once. But the reason why I'm putting this video together is I noticed people, more specifically like the white knighty kind of like female primary social order type, are very akin to bending over and taking it. And one of the traits of strong, virtuous, masculine men is the ability to get shit done, get paid for it, and not get fucked around. And "fuck you, pay me" is something that kind of stuck in my head ever since that conversation in '88. It was interesting to see the lyrics used in Goodfellas, so it's obviously nothing new. A lot of the stuff that we talk about, a lot of the lyrics that we use are really nothing new. I mean, they're just regurgitated and sound bites pulled out of time. But I think it's an important lesson to remember and learn. If you're doing work, you need to get paid for it. If you're deemed an expert in an area, you need to get paid for it. If people rely on you to get things done, you need to fucking charge for your time and get paid for it. A lot of the times I get criticized publicly in the channel. I'm often in the comments just about every morning, just seeing what's going on, what kind of feedback that I'm getting. And there's usually some form of weak-ass white knight man that thinks that, and this is like a very feminine virtue, very feminine trait, that they're entitled to free shit. Give me more free shit. I mean, a lot of the younger guys are probably used to, let's go download Fortnite, it's a free game, and then we'll buy our, in-app purchases sort of thing. They're used to free shit, give me more free shit. And they're always looking for, answer my question, email me a question, DM me this, ask me some basic shit about some girl, or how to get a business off the ground, or would I invest in some shit. And quite often there's an autoresponder and it just goes out to them and it's like, if you want to sponsor a video, it's this. If you want to talk, there's a coaching call, there's this. If you want to get in my inner circle, my men's community, and get my premium content, the Facebook group and that, here it is over here. But it always leans back onto somewhere, pay for my time. The reason why you guys are in the community, and most of you stay in the community for as long as you do, is I'm assuming, and hopefully, it's because you get value out of what it is that you're paying for. Otherwise, you would bounce, or you just don't want to do the work. It's like one of the two. I know that there's an element of guys that will leave the community because they don't want to do the work or they don't like the discussion, and that's fine. They're not a good fit for it. There's also an element of guys that don't want to do the work, and that's fine. They're not a good fit for it. They can go. But the ones that really stick around, that I know, admire, and subscribe to the sort of talks that I have, the lectures that I give, if you will, is the guys that are there, that are making shit happen in their lives. And men need to always remember, and this is not a, rich as an asshole or anything like that. It's fuck you, pay me, man. It's like, I don't work for free. Do you work for free? Quite often there's people that will try to like discount you and your time. Let's get on the highway here. And what they'll do is they'll come at you with some fucking excuse and try to make their problem your problem. and all they're doing is they're sucking you some vortex of nonsense that doesn't serve you. Your time's worth money, man. You know, you're only on this earth for a limited time, and making bank is going to allow you to have choices, have the ability to maneuver, to have impact, you know, in your own world and influence those in yours, you know, your family, your friends, the ones that you love, even the men in this community when you give back as well. So it's incredibly important to always remember, pay me for my time. There's got to be some exchange of value. If they're not paying you for your time, they got to give you something in exchange for it. I had a coaching client once a year or two ago, the halftime razors. I don't know if you guys remember, but I got a box of like hundreds of these razors in my basement. This guy wanted coaching, and he was legitimately stuck, and you know, he was kind of in a bad fucking spot, to be honest with you. He made some bad choices, and he didn't have the money to pay for coaching. But he sent me a sample of the razor, and I liked it. And I said, "You have inventory?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, send me a box of $1,000 worth of your razors, and we'll do $1,000 worth of coaching." Right? So you can get paid, right? I mean, there's any number of ways to do it. Whether you take an equity stake in a business, they send you some product, you know, there's a bartering system you can use. I mean, money obviously has value. A lot of the times, you know, my preference will be cryptocurrency. I like Bitcoin, right? You know, a lot of guys have paid me in Bitcoin also because they want to remain anonymous. They don't want money to flow back and forth sort of thing, or they like that sort of digital currency. That's okay. Important to note though, and you know, the reminder here in the lesson of this is always remember to charge for your time. Your time has value. If people seek it, make sure you charge for it. You're not charging for the time, you don't value yourself. And if you don't value yourself, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't want you in the community, right? I want guys that value their time and value themselves. That's why I run this on an ask give, right? If you're asking, make sure you're giving. Right? If you're giving, come back in and say, guys, I've got an ask. I'm stuck on something, you know, help me out with this. Feedback. Let's run this up the flagpole and see who's going to salute it. Get some answers to it. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I'll post this in the Facebook community, so if there's any discussion on it or any follow-ups to it, it's easy to hop into it. Last but not least, I mentioned I was going to talk about this. So I've been having some back problems. I've been going to my chiropractor for probably the last 8 weeks on a weekly basis, sometimes twice a week even. And one of the things that I started looking at was a posture corrector, because I actually found out that part of the reason why I've had these back problems is because my shoulders roll forward. So even sitting like this, if I don't roll my shoulders back, I'll find they'll roll forward, and then I'll get that tightness in the back, and it's between the spine and the rib ligaments, I think they're called, is what the chiropractor says. But he's basically saying the reason why I've got back problems is because of my posture. So he's doing the corrective work as a chiropractor, but I also saw this posture corrector. I showed it to him. I bought it off Amazon, by the way. It's 27 bucks. I'm not even going to link it. It's 27 bucks. Just search for posture corrector if it's one of the things that you might be struggling with. So this is a little gift to you guys as well for self-care in this video. But I found that it really does help. It looks kind of douchey, but I don't fucking care. I'm wearing it because it helps me correct my posture. One of the things it also forces me to do if I'm driving along on the highways, I can sit back like this. So if you do a lot of highway driving, guys, and you find yourself rolling forward, which we almost all do, like I'm pretty tall, so I end up kind of rolling forward after a while out of the seat. Take a look at it. Hope that helps. Let me know what you think of this video. Let's open some discussion in the comments below. See you guys later. Peace. By the way, want to thank you again for being a member of my community. I really appreciate it, man. It's really what helps me put out the stuff that I do, because YouTube is just that's why I love you guys. Peace. See you guys in the next video.